Hi, this is Katie. In today's video, we're going to be doing a classic Q&A. I have a bunch of questions that you guys asked me over on my Instagram, which is just Katie Carney, by the way. And some of these are pretty personal questions and some of them are more fun questions. So if you guys are interested in a little Q&A, I really hope that you're subscribed and I hope that you keep watching. Okay, so again, I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions. If you ever want to be part of a Q&A, sometimes I will do them on here where I ask you guys to ask me questions in the comments of a video, but it's more likely that I will get the Q&A questions from my Instagram. So go check out my Instagram, follow me over there if you ever want to be part of a future Q&A or just any like other interactive videos. So anyway, yeah, there's going to be some questions that like I've never really talked about before, or it's rare that I talk about these topics. So okay, so Hippie Coco asked, are you safe when posting videos about living in your car? So I think that I am. When I am living in my car, if I'm going to be sleeping in my car, which I know I have not done in a while, okay? I still do go on road trips and day trips and stuff, but I've not slept in my car in a while. But I did it for years. I know a lot about sleeping in a car, living in a car. I might do it again one day. I'm not entirely sure. But right now I'm living in one spot, but I still go on day trips. And again, I just did live in my car a lot and I slept in my car a lot. And so I know the precautions that I took. Number one, if I'm going to be staying somewhere for a couple days, I generally will not post a YouTube video about it until I already left. Whether that's I'm staying in a town, like a small town for a couple days, or especially if I'm going to be sleeping somewhere for a couple days in my car, I will not post about it until I already left. And then another precaution that I take is that, you know, if I'm in like a really small town in Montana, but I'm going to be there for a while, I just kind of won't give specifics about where I am. You know, even right now, all I've told you guys is that I'm in the Northeast, because there are just some safety precautions and honestly just some personal things that I want to keep to myself sometimes. But there are just some safety precautions where I don't like to really share the exact town that I'm staying in or the exact area that I'm staying in while I'm there. If it's a really much bigger city or something, that's a little bit different. But again, if I'm going to be posting, like my last video, I was at the Jersey Shore and I posted that video after I already left, you know, and when I went to Albany recently, or I went to wherever else I went, Vermont, I posted those videos after I already left. But also if it's during the day and I'm in Vermont and I'm, you know, out at a little grocery store or something like that, that's a little bit different. I don't really mind posting that kind of stuff like on my Instagram. But yeah, so there are going to be some times that I'll post things in real time, right? Like when I'm in Montana, if I'm there for a month and a half, I'm going to be posting while I'm in Montana that I'm in Montana. But again, I just kind of won't be specific about where I'm staying or what part of town I'm in, and especially where I'm going to be sleeping. Definitely will not be talking about that until after I'm already gone. Maybe I will talk about it after. I think I just repeated myself 4 times, but I think that makes sense. Yeah. So I generally feel safe about it. All right, someone asked waffles or pancakes. I hate this question because I never know the answer. I think maybe like a really good Belgian waffle, and I loved plain Eggos. When I could eat Eggos, just a plain one, I loved how like they weren't really sweet, but I do love like a really good fluffy pancake. That's how, I don't know why that's always been a hard question for me. Like, I don't think that I like one more than the other. Sorry, that's a cop-out, I know. All right, I'm actually going to take a little break from the Q&A to talk about today's sponsor. You guys know how much I love Native Deodorant. I talk about them all the time. I've been using them for years. And so I do want to thank Native for sponsoring this video. And so the main reasons that I love Native Deodorant are that they're aluminum free and they're paraben free as well. And they work. They help me smell really, really good throughout the day. And so 3 of my favorite scents, I have several favorites, but 3 of my favorites are the citrus and herbal musk. It's a little more masculine. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. One of my other favorites is a sea salt and cedar, which is a little more fresh. It's a little more fresh, like just fresh. And then this is my favorite sweet scent, which is the sweet peach and nectar, which smells exactly like you would guess, like a really natural smelling peach. I love it. I'm actually gonna just apply a little bit more right now. Again, they are aluminum free, paraben free, they're cruelty free, they're vegan. They have a lot of really good ingredients in their products like shea butter. And again, I've been using them for years. One of my other favorite products that they have is a body wash that I love. I love their body wash so much. I use it every single time I take a shower, but they also have shampoo and conditioner. They also have a hair treatment that I love, like a leave-in conditioner that I love. They have toothpaste. They have a ton of different things on their site. And they also have a plastic-free range if you're curious into looking into that as well. But you guys know that I have a coupon for you guys. If you're curious in trying aluminum-free deodorant for the first time, or if you just want to stock up on some new scents, if you use my code KatieCarney9, you can get 33% off of a 3-pack of deodorant. So normally a 3-pack of deodorant on their website is $39. If you use my code, it's only $26, which is a great deal. And my code gets you 20% off of a body wash as well, which again, I love. And they have a lot of these scents in the body washes as well. And they have unscented too, if that's something that's more important to you. So yeah, I want to thank Native again for sponsoring this video. I love working with them and I love their deodorant. I literally use it every single day. So thank you, Native, for sponsoring this video. Oh, and I have the link in my description as well. Let's get back into the Q&A. Scott asked, is online dating worth it to you? I did not think of these answers before this question, so you are getting like my raw reaction to this. Is online dating worth it for me? Yes. But there's a lot of like caveats to that. Is that the word? There's a lot of like, but I don't know. So basically, I would say my 3 or 4 most serious relationships from like earlier, from like my 20s, like my early 30s, I actually met them in person. Like one I met at work, one I met through my brother, one I met at a concert, actually 2 I met at concerts, and one I met at Yellowstone. I don't even think I ever told you guys that story because I don't really talk about dating much on here, but I did actually meet someone at Yellowstone who I ended up dating for a while. But the last few years, the couple, like, you know, more long-term or more serious or more intense relationships I did meet online. And so I kind of go back and forth. Like, what is happening? Oh, an alarm on my phone was going off. And it's a song. And the first few seconds of the song are like static. So if you heard that and was like, what is that? It was an alarm on my phone reminding me to record this video. So anyway, all right. So basically, several of the people that I've dated, I've met in person, and several of them I've met online. And even when I was younger, like when I was like 19, 20, 21, I was meeting people online. Like I met one of my best friends on MySpace. I met someone else who I dated a little bit on MySpace when I was like 20 years old. And so obviously just for me and my lifestyle that I work for myself, I work from home. And yes, I do travel a lot and I do go out and do things a lot. However, it's a lot of like solo things and I don't really, you know, go to groups. I don't really do things like that. Could I? Yes, but I don't right now. And so online dating has been really helpful for me to meet friends and meet people that I'm dating when I'm on the road specifically. And so when I'm on the road, I really do like meeting people online because I feel like I can talk to them a little bit before I meet them and kind of meet them in public and do all that kind of stuff. But there's also been a lot of times where I've met people in person. So I feel like I'm just kind of giving you a roundabout answer where yes, I do think it's worth it, but it is very difficult. And I feel like especially now, my opinion on online dating and maybe dating in general, but this is just my experience on this, is that a lot of people don't like the idea of commitment and a lot of people don't like the idea of like honesty and like being a team and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people just kind of want casual things. And so that's not what I want. So I'm not saying they're wrong for wanting that necessarily. I'm just saying that that's not what I want, but I still think that it's worth it because there are lots of people who use online dating because they don't want to go to bars and meet people. They don't want to go out in public and meet people. And most of their hobbies they do by themselves and they work from home. You know, like there are a lot of people who are like that. And so I do think that online dating can work. And again, like my serious boyfriend that I had last year that I talked to you guys about very briefly, I met him online and he was awesome. And so it's just kind of depends on the person. It kind of depends what kind of person you are. I know some people who would never really use online dating, but I know some people that it really works out well for. So I think it depends on the person. It kind of depends what you're looking for. But I think like the way to do online dating, it is kind of a numbers game, which I hate saying. Like I'm going to talk to probably 15 people before I even talk to one that I can actually have a real conversation with. And in terms of, again, what I'm looking for and stuff. And so it is like, it does kind of take up a lot of time, but I don't really see it much different than meeting someone at a bar because you still don't know their religious preferences or their political preferences or what they do for a living, or if they're like a creepy person or not. You still don't know those things if you meet someone in person, you know? I always get so confused when people say, oh, you met them online? Well, be careful, be careful. It's like, yeah, well, you can meet someone in person and they could be just as creepy or just as dangerous or just as awesome or just as compatible or not compatible or harmful or fun or whatever. Like they can really kind of be the same no matter where you meet them. And so it kind of depends. It kind of depends, but I do think that it is worth it. But like, do I know for sure that that's how I'm going to meet my husband? No, I have no idea. I have no idea. I can meet him later today at the grocery store. I have no idea. But I just think that if you know what you want and that you're open to like spending that time actually looking, that online dating can be worth it. Yes. Was that a real answer? I have no idea. Another alarm. Hold on. Let me just shut these alarms off. They were reminding me to record this video. Okay, I'm recording it, phone. I'm recording it. Speaking of, someone asked, does your phone keep you awake at night? No. Oh, I have my Apple Watch. It's not on right now. But I have it so it's like I get notifications when I get texts, when I get phone calls, when I get FaceTime alerts. I get little vibrations on my watch. But after, I think it's about 11 p.m., I have that shut off. And so it does not wake me up at night. Like if someone texts me at 2 a.m, I don't hear it. And my phone is always on silent. And so if he's talking about that, if this question is about like, does my phone keep me awake at night because of text or alerts? No. And then in terms of like all the blue light and stuff, I've never noticed a difference. I've never noticed a difference for me personally. If like I watch TV or if I'm looking at my phone at night, I've never noticed that it keeps me awake or anything like that. I know I keep playing with this. Anyway, no, I haven't noticed it has for me. No. Okay, someone asked, what's your favorite part about Utah and when do you think you're coming back? So, oh goodness, I love a lot of parts about Utah. I love Zion. I love Zion. I've been there maybe 3 times or something. I love it there. I do like the town Hurricane. I found out that there's a town right outside Zion. They have In-N-Out Burger, by the way, which is like my favorite place. And it's spelled Hurricane, but it's pronounced Hurricane, which I learned. I did spend a little bit of time there. That was a really cute town. And I love Salt Lake. I love Salt Lake. I went to a speakeasy there once, which was so cool. Like you walk into like this little store. I think I went on like my 33rd birthday or something like that a few years ago. And you walk into like this little store and the girl is all dressed up like behind the counter and they sell little like knickknack kind of things. And I remember being like, is there a bar in here? Cause I knew nothing about speakeasies. And she's like, what are you talking about? Bars are illegal. Like it was this whole thing. It was like a whole like a production kind of thing. She's like, no, bars are illegal. No, we don't sell alcohol here. No. And so we just kind of like looked around the store a little bit more. And then she was like, you know what though? If you're sick, then sometimes we can prescribe alcohol. And so we had to like write on this little prescription pad, like what we were sick with. And then we went behind this secret door and went into the speakeasy. It was really, really cool. I don't remember the name of it, but that was in Salt Lake or right outside of it or something like that. I went to In-N-Out Burger. I had some other good food there a few years ago. I just like that town. I love Utah. The mountains there are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But yeah, so I would say I love Salt Lake. And I love Zion. And I've been to Arches, which is really cool too. But I do want to go back. I don't know when. Just because I don't even know how long I'm staying in the Northeast. I don't know kind of the next steps in my life yet. But when I go back to Utah, because I will be going back because I love it there, I want to do all of the national parks. Because there's what, 5 or 6? 5, I think? Arches, Canyonland, Bryce, Zion. I think there's 5. I want to do like the whole kind of like loop kind of thing in like 2 weeks or something, like a whole little loop. But I don't know. Maybe in the next year or 2. I don't know yet. I don't know. But I do love Utah. It's a beautiful state. Okay, so someone asked, actually, I think a couple people asked if I had any luck finding a church where I am, because I mentioned that one of the things that I wanted to do while I was staying in one spot for a few months was find a church. And honestly, this is going to be one where I talk a little bit more personal than normally I would on here, but part of me kind of like, I know the things that I want to keep personal, but also part of me wants to open up a little bit more about certain things with you guys. So anyway, one of the things is that, no, I have not found a church. I did a lot of research. I looked up a lot of churches in my area, and most of them are... You guys know I don't like to talk about politics on here. I never have. I don't think I ever have talked about politics. I do not talk about like social causes that are popular in politics. I don't talk about that kind of stuff. I talk about it with my friends and my family, but I don't talk about it on here because it's just not part of my channel. My channel is travel, lifestyle, my personal life, but I just have never decided to add politics into it. Even though I studied politics in school, it's something that I'm very interested about. I talk about it a lot with my friends and my family. I do have a lot of opinions. It's just something that I haven't really felt led to talk about on here because things like that are just, I don't know, they're so controversial. And for a long time on here, I just kind of wanted to keep the peace in a lot of ways. So maybe one day I'll start talking about politics, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just something that I'm not sure if I want to share yet. However, with churches, I want to go to a church that follows the Bible. I don't want to go to a church that follows just whatever social norm happens to be popular right now. And I have found, at least in my area, that it's hard to find a non-denominational church specifically that actually follows the Bible and does not just talk about all these social issues going on and political stuff and stuff like that. So it might be that I have to go to a different denomination of church or drive a little further to find one. Yeah, because that's just my opinion. I feel like a lot of pastors nowadays, my opinion, my experience, okay? So I'm not saying all pastors, not at all, but there are some at least pastors nowadays that seem to be more caught up in being popular and saying what's cool and saying what's trendy instead of just actually like following what's true about the Bible. And I don't like that. I want to follow what's true about the Bible, not what society says or the media says. I want to follow the Bible. And it's just been hard for me to find a church like that. So yeah, that's just something that I'm kind of struggling with a little bit. Something that I need to figure out and work on more and see what I can do about that. Yeah, but it has been hard. Okay, let's just do like 1 or 2 more questions because my camera is only at 14% because I did not charge it. So what was my schooling? Nina asked, what was your schooling? What were you interested in doing when you were in high school? I don't know if I really had any goals in high school. I was a little bit more of like a typical, like just kind of follow the crowd, very naive, which I'm very grateful for, but just kind of very like went to school, came home, watched TV, hung out with my family, hung out with my friends, and that was it. I didn't really have any clubs. I didn't really have many hobbies except for like hanging out with my friends and playing music. I did that a lot, and some arts and crafts. Those were kind of like my hobbies. But in terms of like what I wanted to do with my life, I had no idea. I ended up going to college and I have a degree in social science, but the concentration is political science. So I studied a lot of political science in school as well as sociology and psychology, a minor in special education because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll be a special ed teacher, so I'll have this minor in special ed. But when I was in college, I was thinking of being a social researcher. I wanted to get my master's in sociology and be a social researcher. But then I just ended up kind of taking a different route and I ended up, writing and doing assistant work and stuff like that. And now I'm doing YouTube, which is awesome. But yeah, so when I was younger, like I think someone else asked, like when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up? Like, I think that I wanted to be like a zoologist or something when I was really young. And I think I did have kind of some thoughts about being a teacher because my mom was a teacher. She retired a year and a half ago. And then when I was in college, like right when I went to college, I was thinking of being a pharmacist. I don't know if I've told you guys that, like right when I went to college. And then I ended up taking like calculus and I was like, never mind, because I love math, but calculus is like a whole different breed and I did not like that. And then I kind of was thinking, okay, well, I like psychology and sociology, so let me see if I can get into that. But yeah, I just didn't really have like a really strict or structured path or any like one thing that I was like extra good at or extra interested in. I always kind of had a lot of interests. I know a lot of people know when they're 15 what they want to do, or they have like one thing that they're really, really good at. But I just never really had that. I was kind of more like, I was okay, but I had a lot of things. And so that's why I've had, if you watch one of my videos from a couple months ago, I talked about all the jobs that I've had in my life. And some of them are kind of all over the place because I've just enjoyed a lot of things. And I think that I am decent at a few different things. And so a lot of what I've done is writing, editing, YouTube stuff, but then also assistant work, working for entrepreneurs. I worked at a newspaper once. I was Mickey Mouse for a job once. I've had a lot of different things. But I just wasn't one of those kids who like knew exactly what I wanted to do. So what was I interested in doing? Yeah, I don't know. Arts and crafts, hanging out with my friends, playing music. I didn't drink or anything. Like I didn't even really date in high school. I didn't like smoke. I didn't do any of that kind of stuff at all. I would like go get like a vanilla bean frappuccino, which is basically just a vanilla milkshake from Starbucks. And we'd like go get pizza. And yeah, so no, I had like a decent time in high school. But yeah, but more in terms of like jobs, I just didn't really have like one specific path that I went on. But now I'm here, so. And you know what's funny? I couldn't have wanted to be a YouTuber in high school because YouTube didn't exist yet. YouTube did not exist until I was 20 years old. So I could not have wanted to be a YouTuber. It did not exist yet when I was in high school. All right, but I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for Native for sponsoring this video. Again, I'll have the link in my description, and also if you use my code KatieCarney9, you can save some money if you get a bundle of deodorant or if you order a body wash. But yeah, thank you again for watching this video. Hope that you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments any other videos that you want to see while I'm still in the Northeast. I would love to hear your suggestions. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it. Thank you again for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.